Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to DIY with Nadia and welcome to another Wreath Wednesday. Today I'm making a beautiful fall deco mesh square wreath using the Nadia method. For today's Wreath Wednesday, I'm going to be using this squared wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and it is 14 inches by 14 inches, which is quite large. Today, I'm going to be using the second row of the wreath form and also the third. You can use the first and the second if you want the wreath to be a little bit smaller. I wanted to use the two outer ones because I wanted to show you how much you're going to need for the bigger version of this wreath. I have not used the Nadia method on a squared wreath before, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, but at the end I will definitely give you all that info. For now, I'm going to cut up actually 5 because I know for sure I'm going to need 5, but I do have extras just in case. I try not to go over 6 deco mesh rolls with any wreath I make on this channel. I try this to be as economical as possible and as beautiful as possible. All right, for the actual deco mesh, here we go. Our deco mesh is 6 inches in width, and in length it is 5 yards. If you take the 5 yards divided by the 12 inches that we're going to make our strips in, it's going to give you 15. So we're going to get 15 the Nadia method bows within each of the rolls. The rolls that I just got, these are new. These are not from last year. So they're the newer style. They're more firmer. So I'm very excited to see how this will work because I just did a wreath using this one. It was the breast cancer wreath, and I like the way the bows turned out. I think it looked beautiful. The deco mesh is definitely stronger. It is more secured on the edges. But it is Dollar Tree, so I highly recommend before you buy any of the deco mesh rolls, just take a look at them on the sides. Make sure they're not loose. You want to look for a roll that's nice and neat. This is a good example of a beautiful roll. Let me open it up. Look at this. It's beautiful. Dollar Tree. Look how clean all the edges are. And on this side too. So this is a perfect specimen, shall we say, of deco mesh roll from a Dollar Tree. Very beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to sit here, watch a little bit of NCAS New Orleans, and just continue cutting these up. So speaking of that, in the comments below, let me know what you're watching right now. Is there a series you're watching right now? I don't know, maybe you're watching some kind of a sitcom or comedy. Like what is really just kind of fun for you right now to watch? I actually just started from season 1 and I love binge watching shows. All right, you guys, I will see you in a bit. Now let's talk about pipe cleaners at the Dollar Tree. Here's what I recommend. Right now, Dollar Tree has these seasonal ones that are coming out already. And what I recommend is buy a whole bunch of these. I don't know, maybe 6, 10. It all depends on how many wreaths you make. So this one is leftover from last year, for example. And so what I do is I take them and I divide all the colors. And, you know, for this wreath, I want to use these gold ones because they would work really well with this wreath. And so I'm just going to divide all the colors. And then that way, you know, when I'm making a silver wreath, there you go. There's my silver. Then I got red, green, and it works out really well. We're going to divide it in 3. It's 4 inches each because these are 12 inches long. And then I'm just going to cut these with my wire cutters. For today's Wreath Wednesday, I'm collaborating with DIY with Amber. And on her channel, you can find some gorgeous high-end modern farmhouse DIYs. I will link her channel down in the description box, so please check her out and let her know I sent you. If you're coming over from Amber's channel, welcome to DIY with Nadia, where we love Dollar Tree DIYs and lots of wreaths. We're just going to take our 12-inch deco mesh strip, let it curl into itself, and overlap and then I just kind of am walking it back until it's overlapping about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, holding it on top, bringing it down so our overlapping is in the center. With one finger, I'm holding on top. And then with my other finger right here from the bottom, I'm going to walk it in, and all of that fraying is going to get locked in right here in the center. Then I'm taking my bow, I'm turning it upside down. This is our smooth end, and this is where we bring our pipe cleaner, and then bring it back. Give it 2 twists, nice and tight, locking it all the fraying. And so we have a little bit of fraying on one side of the bow that's behind and in the back, and then the rest of the fraying is inside the other side of the bow. And there is your bow. And if you take a few of them, I know it looks fairly kind of like naked, but don't forget that we're just going to squeeze these guys together just like this, and you could already see the wreath. It's going to be colorful, orangey. It's going to have a little sparkle from this orange little strip. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful wreath. Now I'm going to continue with my NCIS. I'm going to be making lots and lots of these little bows. Now it's time to put the bows on, and I usually like going in a zigzag, so I'll just be zigzagging along, and obviously right here we're going to put a few more and then continue going zigzagging using the second and the third row. Okay, and I'm just going to do 2 twists, and then I'm going to just bring them together, fold underneath, and kind of just loop them back, and that's it. Just like that. And they're going to be nice and secure in place. Look how gorgeous the colors are in this Deco mesh. Very fallish. All right, so here are the numbers that you want. In this bar right here, the middle bars on all the sides, you are going to need 10 on each. So 5 on each bar. In each section, you're going to have 10. On the corners, I'm going to have 5 on this middle one, and I'm going to have 7 on this outer one. So that makes it 12 on each one of the corners, a total of 88, which means you're going to have 6 rolls, and then you should have 2 of these bows left over because 6 rolls make 90 of the bows, and we need 88. So, you know, whenever you have the 2 left, just fill in the area that you feel maybe is a little lighter or looser. So another thing is, while you're doing this, don't get discouraged if it's a little bit too light, because when you hang it on the wall, this section right here, as you can see, it kind of curls in. This is me standing in on this side. We're going to push it back, and then it's going to fill this area. You are the boss of this wreath, so make it listen to you. So fold how you want. That's the cool thing about Nadia's method, is these bows, they're very pliable and movable, and you can move them the way you want to and make it work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish up. I have a few more sections to do here, and I will be right back. Okay, and our wreath is all complete. Nice and clean. Now I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to do the centerpiece. For the centerpiece, you're going to need some of these bushels of leaves, and I'm choosing this bright yellow because this is so kind of, you know, it's kind of like on the darker end and all these fall colors, and this is going to brighten it up in the center. So we're going to use those. Then we're going to use a little pillow I know. We're going to use a pillow for the centerpiece. Another option could be this little pumpkin. I'll show you what it looks like later. And then, of course, we are going to need some wires to bring this all together. First things first, I'm going to remove all the tags. Now, with the wire cutters, you have two choices. You can cut it or you can bend it. I'm going to bend it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections in. Going to bend it back. This looks about right to me. Now, if you didn't cut and you're just doing this, make sure with the wire you catch the little sections that you bend backward. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one, 5 sections in. And if you have anything poking out like this, make sure you cut it with wire cutters so you don't get hurt. Same thing with the second pair. I made sure that the distance is the same. And we're going to put some wire around these guys. All right, now that our bushels are both done, I'm going to crisscross them and grab more wire, knot it a little bit, give it a few twists. Okay, and then I'm going to face it the other way and crisscross it this way. That way you have wire going this way and this way. Now, in the middle of this, I'm bringing in my pillow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this jute cord off, making sure not to cut too much so I don't cut the pillow. Same thing with these tags. Now I'm going to get a thicker wire, maybe like a 16 gauge. I'm going to put the pillow in the center over here. Okay. So I'm going to poke it through, and it has stuffing on the inside. Just kind of go through the stuffing and then come out on the other side. This looks good here. If you want, you can glue it in place here. Let me see here. And I'm not gonna go too tight. The pillow is secure right in here. All right, now I'm going to flip it upside down. The wire that I have been using is the really thin one from the Dollar Tree. So I wanted to get something stronger. So I'm going to use these twist ties. I'm going to need a long piece here. And what you want is to make sure that your piece will go double here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath this whole thing. Find my center, and I'm going to twist twice, and then go underneath one of mine right there, go underneath right there, bring them in the middle, and twist them in the middle. Then I'm going to cut another piece, make sure it's double the size here, and give it a few more extra inches. Cut this. Going through the opposite, right underneath that middle crisscross. Find my center a few times, and I went over this top one. This is going to give it like an extra security, an extra locking. Going around on the first row right here, and basically what I'm doing right now is I'm knotting it in place. I wanted to show you real quick what it would look like with this little pumpkin. So let me take my board out. If you hang it against something nice and bright, what that's going to do is bring all these colors out and then bring the focus in the middle. I think either one is pretty, but I love the pillow, and I don't know, it's so cute and sweet. I absolutely love it. So now all that's left is to straighten my leaves out and hang this wreath. Thank you so much for spending another Wreath Wednesday with me. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.